okay? And I'm going to show you the proper way of how to start the backhoe when it's cold like this. So I wasn't going to make a video, but I figured it's time to make a video. We need to start the backhoe. So we're going to do some work with the backhoe, okay? And I'm going to show you the proper way of how to start the backhoe when it's cold like this. You need to find an ether can first off. $300 for a track assembly with the cable that lifts a window up and down. Ag Pro wanted $300 for that. Shiny too. Well, hi guys, glad you could join me. I want to talk about a couple of reasons why yours truly does not have a snowplow. Whoa, why are we bouncing all over the place? That's kind of cool. I don't really know why the camera was shaking all over the place on its own, but I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why I do not want to plow on the front of this gator. Well, because when you live on a farm, you have access to various pieces of equipment, being loader tractor, backhoe loader, skid loader, anything with a bucket, front end loader, or even a rear drag box, box blade, scraper, whatever you call it, can efficiently move snow. Now, I'm gonna go over a couple of points why I don't really want to plow on this gator, even if, well, circumstances would be different if I didn't farm. It was just a regular homeowner. The reason being, number one, is suspension. You would put so much stress on the front end components on this gator, having a plow hang off the front of it, that you would be replacing the front end components a whole lot more frequently than if you didn't keep a plow off this gator. Reason number two being the transmission in these things. If I were to plow all this area, I mean, we're talking out front, you know, all the way over to the farm and that kind of stuff, doing the whole farm, even my house with a gator, I'd end up killing it with all the forward and backwards of the transmission and the direction of travel. You'd be really, really hard on the transmission. Now, there are other means of getting rid of snow, whether it be a snow blower, snow shovel, skid loader, tractor loader, you name it. If it's going to move snow, I'm going to use it. Gator, nah, just not seeing it. Now, like I said, if you were just a homeowner and you didn't farm or have any other means of moving snow, by all means, you know, it's a perfect vehicle for plowing snow. I always do, or at least try to do, 3 passes in front of garage doors and items like that, so that way the snow blade, snow plow, tractor, bucket, rear blade, whatever, does not penetrate the garage door, because that would be a rather expensive ordeal. And that was the 4-wheel drive engaging. No more slip on the rear end, just like the little brother, the 835M. That was the 2020 edition, or I should say 2018, because that's when I purchased it. And you had to have like 15% rear slip in the rear end to get the front end to lock in, which was the stupidest thing ever, but it is what it is. The only downfall I don't like about these Predator tires is when you go to back up and you are in snow, you might as well forget taking the thing out of 4-wheel drive. You will need the 4-wheel drive locked in all winter with these tires, but you know what? They are really, really quiet, and they don't wear as bad as the standard tires do. So it's like a, I don't know, like a Catch 31 or something, whatever that is, or like a trade-off, you know. You want the Carlisle or the Maxxis Bighorns for off-roading, being off-road, but they will wear oh so fast on the hard surfaces. You want the Predator tires on the 835 for traveling down the road, but they stink going off the road. So it's kind of a toss-up between one or the other. Well, since the ground is warming up, yeah, I think the high today is like 33 or something, 32. We're gonna go over here and dig at this door a little bit more. I was under the impression I wouldn't be able to get to it today, but my mind, or I should say the weather has changed my mind. You can see right here that the ground is definitely not frozen by any means whatsoever, so I think I'll be able to do a little more digging here at this track and get the thing all dug open like it needs to be. Well, I got my ditch dug or cleaned open a little bit better. I want to take the door and kind of run it back this way to make sure nothing is gonna hit, because Wednesday night is, actually tomorrow night is when it's gonna get really, really cold. Yeah, it went, but it wasn't happy. I'm gonna say when it got back to about, well, you can see in the dirt here, it's got a real faded line. So this needs to be dug down a little bit more. But this is really, really nice in here. I done really good work. So that is really strange. I hit the remote once with starting the gator, and I don't know, it's running on its own, so you guys tell me that one. I don't have a clue what is happening. It looks like we have snow clouds over yonder over there. I think it's probably supposed to snow tonight. Yeah, it's what happens this time of year. It snows, it melts, it freezes, it makes ice. Yeah, and I go ice skating. So all in all, I would like to have a blade on this gator, but realistically, I just don't see it. I mean, I just don't. For the amount of headaches I would have with steering components and things like that, I again just don't see it. It's just easier to have Dad run through here with the blade, pickup truck, and hit it, and so be it. But I got four-wheel drive. If I can't get in my own driveway, then I don't need to be going nowhere. So I wanted to show everyone this mount plate, quick attach on this Ford backhoe that my grandfather had made up for a 3400 Ford that he bought, fixed up. We used it for a couple years to move hay and things like that, move round bales. It was a loader tractor, and I have the 3-point arms for sale. The bottom part of the 3-point arms for a 3400, I believe a 4400, that are just like this here, but this is what the backhoe sets on. And I have the bottom part of the 3-point arms. If anybody would be interested, let me know. But this is what the quick attach, quick change looks like. There's a company in Ohio. It's called Mast Implement. I will incorporate the address, phone number in the video here. So if anybody's looking for a quick change, this is what it is. I don't currently have a tape measure right now, or else I would measure these. But you would just have to measure in between your tip cylinders and in between the loader bottom hinge pins there for the bucket. And then you would obviously, well, this would be the same for the bucket end as the loader end. And then all it is just a skid steer style mount plate, made with this adapter plate here to go from a non-quick attach style attachment to a skid steer style attachment. And I would take this off, but I can guarantee it's probably froze right now. I will make mention of it in a future video. If we ever have to take this apart to put the bale spear on it, but it's kind of what we got the 6120 for. The bad thing about this is you lose a lot. You can't grade with this, with it being so far out. You can't grade right because you lose a lot of, there's so much leverage out there. You can't scoop right with it. You know, I'm sure you can see here how your geometrical references point changes. As you can see here, this would be brought back to here, and then this would come down further to match us down here. It changes the whole game. But it is nice for putting the bale spear on. Like if the 6120 goes down, we can put the bale spear on this and load trucks and keep the show on the road. So I just wanted to show this real quick. I will put the description, or I will put the phone number in the description. They're out of Ohio. And if you guys need any attachments made or anything like that, feel free to contact them.